Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're watching the video from and the time you're gonna see this video. I remain my humble self, the Eichmann. If you're coming across my videos for the first time, I would like you to share my videos, like, comment, and follow my page if you are not following me. I don't know why the kind of leaders we have in government are the people that don't have the interest of the masses at heart. What thing they just want is just for their own selfish aggrandizement, for their own selfish interests. These labor people, where they do this peaceful protest, what they do now, wetin these people really they demand? Is it wetin our government no go fit to provide for them? Why must our government allow these labor leaders, every administration, labor must go on strike, labor must protest because of just minimum wage, because of just a little thing these people are just demanding from government. Why? The government, our leaders will be carrying all the money we have to themselves, paying themselves millions just for someone that served for 4 years, 8 years. People will paying them till they leave the earth. But these people that serve for 30 something years, how much are they paying them? What are really the demand of these people? Yesterday, labor people, they put down the gates of National Assembly yesterday. What is really happening? Why must we be experiencing this kind of a thing in every administration? Why not settle this once and for all and heed to their demand? Just watch the arguments in Arrest TV between Rufai, Oseni, and other people, and this man that they invited. Augusta, are you trying to defend the government on what they are doing or what? This is the demand of the masses. Now, this kind of thing they cause waiting happen for Nigeria. I remember my humble self, the Eichmann. Just watch the video, like it, comment, and follow my page if you're not following me. All eyes on the judiciary.
The demands that they're putting forward, I feel that there's a lot of cognitive dissonance where you're trying to hold two opposing views at once. Labor's demands for refineries to be fixed, it's going to take forever to fix them. Also, you cannot have, Rufai was talking about modular refineries in the private sector. You cannot have profitable modular refineries in a downstream sector that is regulated. Have you noticed that on the Global Business Report, we had a CEO of a modular refinery. You've had one. Newsday has had one. All of a sudden, once fuel subsidies were removed, all of a sudden, all the players in the modular refinery, all from modular refineries are coming out to talk because their profit margins are increased. So you cannot ask for refineries to be fixed and also have fuel subsidies in place. It can't work. Doctor was talking about the fact that they want teachers to be paid more. Well, hello, the public schools are supposed to be revenue-generating assets, and fees have gone up. You cannot complain about fees going up, which is supposed to be able to improve the remuneration of teachers, and also want government to continue to keep fees down and subsidize education. So the FAC allocation that we just got, which, by the way, is as a result of the liberalization of the foreign exchange, brought in 1.9 trillion, is where you're going to get money to pay more teachers. So Labour needs to be very realistic about the demands that they're making and how they can be implemented.
Rotus, we'll come to that later. So much to talk about.
Plenty.
From Fitch rating in the United States to all the other issues. But we understand that Niyo Oyelowo, our rice correspondent, is on the ground in Victoria Island. Okay, it's not available now.
Yeah,
Okay, when it's available, let us know, and then we'll try to take a look at the situation in Lagos. Who wants to respond to Rotus first?
No, so I'm going to respond to you first.
Oh,
this
please,
is the argument of the Labour.
Yeah.
Prior to this time, the problem about subsidy has always been the transparency, and I think people get the question wrong. The transparency with the subsidy removal process itself and what happened. The lack of transparency, even on the part of the petroleum, the NNPC, as regards that regime and what went on. The fact that they've been saying modular refineries, they've been talking about turnaround maintenance of the refineries all this while, and they keep giving deadlines, and we don't get modular turnaround of modular refineries. The argument is, if you have your stock and refineries produce locally, you'll be able to eliminate some costs. Not that fuel price will go back to 185, don't get me wrong. But you'll be able to eliminate some costs like the landing costs and all of that. And also, do you know there are some provisions in the laws that says that to be able to guarantee energy security locally, there are some provisions that say you can also sell to the refineries in Naira as against the international price of dollars so that they are able to produce to guarantee energy security within.
At what exchange rate?
If at the local, as a Naira.
I know, but what exchange rate? Is in dollars. Crude is priced in dollars.
Yes.
What exchange rate in Naira?
So if that comes into play.
Rufai, what exchange rate?
Now,
You
Rotus,
can't, no,
Rotus,
don't dodge.
Rotus, please.
What exchange rate in Naira?
Rotus,
Rufai is doing it again.
I'm not happy.
He's making a point and he doesn't want to.
I'm not happy about your conduct. Let me finish.
What exchange rate in Naira?
Let me finish now.
Just say the exchange rate.
You are ambushing me. Let me finish. Just wait. Please.
All right.
And I must confess to you, I don't like your conduct in this.
Because I put you on the spot. You try to escape these things.
Listen
if you're
to
gonna,
me. If you're taking all the time, Rotus, you're taking all the time.
He exchanged the exchange rate.
Wait.
It's not realistic. That's why he's making that point.
The rate.
Dr.
Abatti, I think you should warn him.
The rates.
The rate is in the Naira equivalent to the dollar.
At what rate?
Let me make my point.
Which you didn't support. You
Wait,
don't want the exchange
now.
rate
Please,
liberalized.
Dr. Abatti wouldn't let
No
me make my point.
interruptions.
Okay.
Let me make my
Please.
point. Rotus. At the Naira equivalent to the dollar. And once your production increases, I'm going back to using your words. You are the one that talk about market forces. And please let me make my explanation to the end. Don't interrupt me.
Okay.
If you interrupt me, I will stop. Once market forces increasing and we have a lot of production, then I think we can get a stability as regards prices. That's always the argument that Labour is making as regards fixing the refineries. And this argument is coherent enough. Because if you look at what the government has expended as regards cost on these refineries all these years, it has been as a case of corruption that has not made us go to the end of all of this. I get your point of view, classical economist in thinking and all of that. But the truth is, when it comes to practical realities of the Nigerian economy, there are some things that does not hold water. And that's why we are pushing. And I'll take you back to the 80s when we had refineries working and producing. We're subjected also to these international conditions. But at least because we're producing within, there was still some leverage as regards pricing. That's the conversation the Labour is having here. And you have not tried it out. We have not even fixed refineries and we have ample production locally before we say it's not going to work. These are international rates at which it's been sold. But if you provide in Naira, people can provide and they can produce. I'm not saying the cost will go back marginally to what it used to be before. But at least you're going to have a cost that is not too subjected to the international winds and campuses. And that's what we're saying.
What's the cost?
Pure and simple.
What's the cost?
The cost will be dependent on the local production.
Can we make
That's what we are
progress?
saying.
Ayo,
No, nobody can say.
Please, let's make progress.
Then Labour has no point to make, Rufai. If the cost is not, the marginal cost is not
Rotus, argument is not by shouting.
That's the point. And you
calm down.
Can we
I've
make
made my
progress?
point.
Sorry about that.
And those are saying
Ayo, please.
Yeah, sure. Still didn't make the rates. The better way to go about it is probably to have economists and people who know how markets work to join Labour so that their arguments can make more sense.
Are you saying
you just said now that people want to make a living and people want to be supported. The government, you want the government to pay more money towards supporting people. So welfare. Where do you think the money is going to come from? Do you think the money is going to come from the sky? I go back to the FAC allocations. The FAC allocation historically high at 1.9 trillion. The government held on to 1 trillion, saying they didn't want to pump too much to money supply because it would jack up inflation. Your productivity is not matching the amount of money supply going in. Classic definition, too much money chasing too few goods. So they said they would hold on to 1 trillion, distribute the 900 billion to the states. The increase in FAC came from liberalization of the exchange rate, the same exchange rate that people are complaining. And Rufai is interrupting me now again, but then he's going to get sensitive and start complaining when I interrupt him. Let me finish the point. You have more funds coming into government, and that is what is going to support the initiatives that you are going to put forward in terms of trying to support welfare or anything else. So Labour has to understand that their main thing here is minimum wage. They want minimum wage to go up. You have to have a sit-down, proper dialogue with government. President Tinubu said that it will happen. So this is, at this point, not necessary because, again, cognitive dissonance. Doctor, go ahead.